Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Anish and recently I turned 40 and decided to get motivated to get back into fitness. I started looking on YouTube to find videos to motivate me. I managed to find a few great videos which were very educational, but the biggest problem I found was I couldn't relate to these people because they were all elite athletes. I was looking to find someone that was just an average person trying to get fit on YouTube, but I really struggled to do so. As you can see, I'm no elite athlete, just a normal person. And my goals are to get fitter, faster and stronger. I want to show that the journey of fitness is different for everyone and anyone can choose to get fit at any age. So far, I can probably split my life into 3 sections. Up to the age of 13, between the ages of 13 and 26, and from 26 onwards. Up until the age of 13, I was always a chubby kid. I wasn't very active, I didn't play too many sports. And at the age of 13, I joined a football club. And part of their warm-up before they started their training was to do a 2-mile run around the football pitch. And I was out of breath after 400 meters. This is when I realized that I was really unfit for my age and I needed to do something about my fitness. So between the ages of 13 and about 26, I was heavily involved in fitness. I would play all kinds of sports including football, badminton, table tennis. I'd go to the gym regularly, I'd take part in running, I'd try some swimming as well. I would probably be going to the gym about 3 times a week where I would do some weight training, some cardio and some HIIT training as well. And it was at 26 years old that I was probably in the best shape of my life until I was struck by an injury, and I'll save that story for another day. And then comes the period from 26 up until the age of 39, and in this period of my life I have not been very active. I've been injured, I've been lazy, and life just seems to get in the way of everything. So now that I'm 40, I thought it's time I did something about it. We can call it my midlife crisis, but I want to get fit, so there's no better time than now. Now, one of the things I will be avoiding is playing lots of different sports, because playing sports I seem to get too competitive, and when I get too competitive I'm likely to get injured, and the one thing I want to avoid on this journey is injury. Now I know injury is unavoidable, but I'd like to avoid any serious injuries. So I'll be looking into training techniques that would be beneficial for anyone over the age of 40 that uses little equipment or no equipment at all. For my day job, I teach maths online to children aged 11 to 18. As you can imagine, it's not a very active job. I try and make it as active as possible by having a standing desk, so I don't just sit down on a chair while I teach. I sometimes slip a treadmill underneath and I can walk while I work, and I can even stick an exercise bike underneath my desk, and I can ride an exercise bike while I'm teaching as well. So I try and do anything to avoid just sitting down on a chair for an hour, hour and a half while I teach. I also have a 3-year-old daughter, and over the last few years my biggest form of activity has been chasing her around the house. The main types of training that I've been doing recently include running, cycling, swimming and weight training, but nothing too regular. Over the last 5 years I've hardly done any activity. I'd probably say I've been to the gym probably once every 2 weeks maybe for the last 12 months. Running is something that I used to do when I was younger, especially between the ages of 17 and 20. I used to do a lot of running. I even took part in 3 half marathons in that period. But my knee started to hurt when I ran, and that's one of the reasons why I had to cut down on my running. Now, running is one of the first activities that I'm going to be trying on this channel. I've always wanted to do a full marathon, but I've never known if my knees would be able to handle the stress. But there's only one way to find out. So one of my goals is to try and run a marathon. Now, not just for the sake of ticking a box, I'd like to run a marathon in a reasonable time. So cycling is one of the things I really do enjoy, but one of the problems with cycling is cycling on the roads and being worried about being knocked over by a car. Now, the most I've probably cycled in a day is about 13 miles. And I just have a normal mountain bike. I don't have any of these lightweight racing bikes. But one thing that I would really love to do is to take part in a 100-kilometer race. So where you try and race 100 kilometers in one day. So I'm sure my current bike can't handle it, but it's something that I'd like to train towards. Now swimming is one of the areas that I really do need to improve. I've never really perfected the technique of swimming. I've never had any lessons apart from when I was a young child at school. So I know that my technique is all wrong. At the moment I can swim a length, but then I need to take a rest, and I can swim another length and take a rest. And I can do quite a few, I can do probably about 10 lengths, but I would need to rest in between each length. But what I'd like to be able to do is to swim 10 lengths without taking a rest. And that's one of my goals for my swimming, is to swim in 10 lengths without taking a break. Now I've always been quite flexible, but it's always good to improve your flexibility, especially after the age of 40. So I'm going to be incorporating some stretching techniques into my routine to stay on top of that. Calisthenics, which are bodyweight exercises. So pull-ups is something that I've always struggled to do. I can usually do a couple of pull-ups, but at this point in my fitness I don't know if I can even do one pull-up. But what I would like to be able to do is to do 10 pull-ups without taking a rest. So that's going to be one of my challenges for my fitness, to be able to do 10 pull-ups without a rest. So another thing I've always wanted to do is a handstand press up. So it's basically when you're upside down like this and you're just pressing without leaning against a wall. I'd just like to be able to do one of them. So I'm going to be trying to train towards that at some point as well. So you're probably wondering, what type of videos will I be making on this channel? Well, I'm going to be doing short 30-day challenges to challenge myself to do various different types of training. So that's one type of video that I will be posting. I'll be posting some how-to videos on how to do certain things involved with fitness. I'll be researching into gadgets and apps that can be beneficial to you. I like to do a lot of research, so I'll point out any interesting books, podcasts, videos that I come across. I'll be going through different types of training and techniques that are especially beneficial for anyone over the age of 40 and which require little or no equipment at all. I'll also be documenting my progress and my future goals. The aim is to publish a video every single week. I'll be documenting my training, my progress and my future goals. Now my main goal for this channel is to inspire at least one other person to get involved with their fitness and choose to improve their fitness. So today is day one. The first thing I did was I got on the scale and I weighed myself before having any breakfast, and it came up as 66.9 kilograms. Now I'm not looking to increase or decrease my weight too much, I'm more concerned about my body fat. And that came out as 25.2% body fat, which is extremely high. It puts me in the obese category for men. So anything above 25% is considered obese. So my first goal in terms of body fat is to bring that into a more normal zone. And body fat is something that I'm going to be tracking on a weekly basis. So if this sounds like something that would be interesting to you, then do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button, because what that allows YouTube to do is to show this video to other people just like you who might find this video useful. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.